Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on HTML elements. And right now, we'll be discussing about how to switch on and off a bulb using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So quickly, let's continue our discussion. In our previous tutorial, this is what we are having. We've discussed about how you can change src attribute from the HTML using JavaScript. How you can change the image src attribute value using JavaScript. You can watch our tutorial on that in our HTML JavaScript playlist. So quickly, let's continue our discussion. This is the code that did everything for us. So right now on this tutorial, we are going to remove everything here because we don't need them. Let's save our document and reload it. Can you see our document is empty right now? So let's get back to our document now and let's get going. So what do we need? You have to have you need a bulb. It's either in your office or at home or wherever. You need a bulb and you want to control it using switch. These are the accessories that you need. So you need switch, you need wires, you need lamp holder, and also you need bulb, right? That's all you need. So we are going to do that, and this is the code I've already arranged so that I can be able to explain all this for you guys clearly so you won't get confused. So I hope you will understand it and make use of it. So I hope you will understand it and make use of the effort I pile up on this. So quickly, let's begin it. So first thing we need is, let's get back to our document here. As an engineer, if we have to do that for us, they will need something. The engineer will need a lamp holder first. Lamp holder. Our lamp holder, but where can we define lamp holder in our HTML? We are going to give, here is where we are going to define lamp holder inside our img tag here, which is our image tag. We are going to use bulb first. We are going to use bulb off. This one represent our bulb, the bulb that we just bought, that is on the off status. That is the picture. Let me save this picture to show you this picture. As you can see, this is the picture of bulb in off status. I'm going to show you another picture I'm having inside my folder again. Also, I'm having another picture here also. Let me show you another one so you can see the type of pictures I'm going to use today. I'm having this second picture also. This is another picture which is having yellow color, but it's also bulb design as a bulb. So as you can see, I want to use these two pictures as bulb off, bulb on. The yellow will stand as bulb on, the gray one will start as bulb off. So that's what I want to do. Let me show you my folder to see what I'm talking about. This is my folder right here, and here is the bulbs I'm using. This is the picture, pic underscore bulb off dot gif, and also pic underscore bulb on dot gif. You can see I'm using these two pictures right here. So back to our file. So right now inside our code here we have, let me remove the bulb on so we can be able to do that using our JavaScript. Reload it. Can you see the bulb is no more there? Now what do we need? I said we need lamp holder. So here, the place that we are going to display our bulb on, that's where we need the lamp holder. So now I'll give my image ID. So when I give my image an ID, so I'm going to give it lamp holder. So when I give it lamp holder, I will save it. You will see that nothing happened yet. Can you see when I reload my document? Nothing is happening right now. So what do we now need as an engineer again? Now as an engineer, the electrician will say, okay, I will need is now time to use the button. We need the switch, because we need a switch to control it, to control the bulb, to change this image, definitely to change this image from gray to the yellow one. We are going to use switch, so we need to define a switch. So now inside our div, we are going to create a div element here and call this div element a switch. Let's name it, let's give it switch. Understand? Let's call it our switch. When I save my document and reload it, can you see nothing display yet, right? But you are going to see what I'm talking about now. Let's say for instance now, let me give it a color. But I'm going to give it a color using CSS. So let me quickly give our switch. Let me quickly give our switch a star. Give it dot. Don't forget, you have to add dot there. So when I give it a star, then we are going to know what's going to happen next. So let me give it border. When I give it border, I'll give it one pixel solid red. And I give it one pixel solid red. So can you see how long the div element is long, the border around the div element? So now inside our, let's hide this one so it won't get us confused. Inside our div right here, now let's add buttons, because what do we need inside a switch always have buttons, because we want to use on and off status of the buttons of the switch. So now we need to define two buttons. This will be inside. That's what is inside our switch. Whenever we click it as on and off. So let me call this one on. And also I will need another button again. Let me call this one another button again, and I'll call this one off. So let's save our document and reload. Can you see, as you can see under our bulb right here, you can see on and off, but when we click it, it's not working now. So let me reduce the size of this padding that is long from the width from the div element here, so you can see the benefit of using the CSS along with this. So now you can come here, use padding. When we use padding, yes, let's use padding left. Padding left, let's use 25 pixel. I'm going to remove the border, but it's not the border I want to remove right now. I just want to shift this thing a little. I want to shift this on and off a little. That's what I want to do. Can you see? I'm shifting it a little, so that it can be under our, I want it to be under our this thing gently. I think it's neat now. Let me give it 19. Now it's okay like that. Let's now remove this. We can control this border also later, but I don't want to do the stress now. And also we can control the width of our this thing of our, we can control the width of our div element also. Let me save it so you can see. Can you see I'm controlling the width? As you can see, it long before, it's now getting short, so we can control it as much as we want. Let me give it 100. Let's see how it will look. Can you see I'm controlling it? I'm controlling the width of it. So let's say I give it 70. Let's see how it looks. So I can control the left side also, but I don't want to be doing that right now. Let me just remove this border there, so that you can know that I can control it. I can control everything that is here. That's why I did that for you. So let me reload our document. As you can see, we are no more seeing this thing now. So quickly, let's continue our discussion. But right now, as you can see, when we click on and off, nothing is happening yet. Let's hide our CSS. We don't need it anymore for now. So inside here, inside our button, what do we need this button for? Let me do this button like this, because button element is an inline element. That's why even if when I click enter now, that this one and this one, they are on top of each other. Despite the way I did it like this, it still always look like this inside our document. So let me show you how it looks now. Let me save it and reload. Can you see it's still looking at the same, because they are both inline element. Even the image tag is also an inline element from the HTML. You can watch our inline element and block element from one of our playlists here in this channel. On this channel, you can find inline element and HTML inline and block element tutorial there. We have the playlist separately, so you are going to understand what I mean by that. So right now, inside our button here, what do we need? The button is the one. Inside our button here, we need wire, because as you can see, this is switch. This is our switch, and to send signal from this switch to our button, to our lamp holder, because our lamp holder is holding our bulb right now. To send signal from the switch to the lamp holder, we need to connect wire from this our button here. So we need to connect our wire from this our button to the switch very well, so that whenever we click the wire here, we need to send the signal, connect our lamp holder along with what? With wire. So because there is a wire that is going to enter this lamp holder here, so we need to define the wire and connect the wire. So we need two wires, normal. So let's just write on click. HTML is having one attribute named on click. We write on click also. When we write on click here, it will allow us to be able to send any signal from the JavaScript. So that's why we are using this on click, because without it, I'm not sure we can do this. So though there are some other ways you can do things, but if we want to do it using this button right here, this button, so you only have to use this on click. That's what I mean by that. So when you use the on click, inside this on click statement, you are going to keep, that's where you are going to keep the function, the wire. That's where you are going to keep the wire. So now let's put in a wire. Here is a wire now. The wire is going to act as a function, and this one also is going to be a wire. It's going to be a wire. So how can we recognize our wire now? We used to have two wires, right? So let's give this one at the off status, let's give it 0, and let's give this one at the on status, let's give it 1, as this one is off. I mean, this one will be like we are saying our black wire. This one will be our red wire, or this one will be our red wire. This one will be our black wire. So anyone like that. That's how it goes, interchanging each other. So this one will act as the signal that we want to send to what? To our lamp holder. So we haven't defined this signal yet. We haven't defined this wire status, which is 1 and 0, which is red or black. So we haven't defined them yet, so we need to define them. Let's save our document first and see how it looks. Load. Can you see nothing is showing yet? And when we click our wire, when we click it, as you can see, when we are clicking our button, we are having wire inside it. Nothing is happening yet. So again, what do we need again? Now we need to create a script. Creating the script, we need opening and closing script tag. Inside the script tag, what we need to create a function, because we need a function. The function we need to create is going to be wire function. So now let me create a function. So inside this function right here, the function right here is going to be wire. We are creating wire function because we are telling our wire here to have 1 or 0. I hope you are understanding my point. So inside here, this one that we are having here is now going to be our wire signals. So it's going to be our wire signals. Wire signal. So because we are having wires here on and off, and we are having 1 and 0, so this thing also is also the same thing as this, but we are just representing these two things here using text. That's what I want you to understand. We are just representing what these two things here using what one thing. So we are representing these two wires here using 1, and we are representing these two 1 and 0 here using what? Using, because we don't know, maybe in the future we may have more than 3 wires like this. Maybe another one can control another thing. Maybe we will name this thing, maybe we can name it another thing, level or whatsoever, or gauge. Understand? That's why we need to name it. This one will be like, we are trying to check the length because we don't know the length of things that is here. So quickly, let's continue our function. In this our function right here, what do we need again? We need to do something. What do we need to do? Because we have already created a signal variable, a signal variable right here, a signal parameter right here. Definitely we need to quickly define the signal variable. If not, it may cause issue. So let's give it var signal. So signal will be is equal to, this signal is the one we are going to work on very well. So this signal, now you can now say signal is equal to what? We can firstly, let's give it let's turn it to a variable. Yes, so you can understand what I mean. Or first, let me demonstrate how this signal we look on your page. Let's say signal is equal to document. I want to demonstrate something for you first before we move on. Dot get element by id. Let's now say document dot get element by id. Let's get our lamp holder. Don't forget this statement in our previous tutorial where we are discussing about JavaScript. I have already explained it several times. So this one is for selecting every element inside our HTML document here, and also this one right here is for selecting any element that is having ID, that is having anything like ID. So, and this one right here is for specificity. This parenthesis right here is for specificity, that we want to specify the thing that is having this kind of ID. We want to specify the name. So now let's give it a name. Let's give it this lamp holder here. Let's copy this lamp holder name and place it inside here. Understand? Let's save it like that. And also we have selected our lamp holder. Don't forget, we are trying to send wire signal here, like our on and off status here. We want to send it right to this our bulb. So we just want to use variable first, and we want to test something. We just want to do testing first. So let's just say dot src. Let me show you a quick way so you can understand what I'm trying to do here. We are trying to send this wire signal here. We are trying to send it to our lamp holder. That is, when we click a button from here, it will end it. If it's one we click, if it is on we click, it will send the signal to this place. And if it will send the signal to this place, and the signal will come here, and the signal will enter here, and the signal will come again and enter here. That is from our lamp holder. Copy this our bulb now. From our lamp holder, you will now say dot source src is equal to bulb dot give. As you can see, I copy it directly. I didn't even do anything. So what we are trying to say right here is that when we click our button here, if it's this one we click, the signal from this one we send to this place, and the signal also will come into this place, and the signal again will come into our HTML. We enter our HTML document and loop through our HTML elements. This is for the element by ID, element that is having ID, which is this one. So the signal when we click one signal here, it will enter this place. You see, our wire is here, right? When we click it, it will come. Anything we now click from outside here is like we are clicking this wire. The wire is sending signal to this one, and this one now is now coming in to this place because it's a parameter. So now the parameter also is sending signal to this place because we have given it a name. As you can see, our wire is always this one. So this one is representing this one, and this one out here completely is representing all this. So now the signal coming from this now entering here and jumping to this place, which is our whole HTML document, and entering here also, which is our ID here, and entering here, which is our lamp holder. As you can see, this is our lamp holder. It's coming into our lamp holder, and from our lamp holder again, we are sending it to our what? To our bulb. That is, definitely you should know that when we save this document now and click a button right here, this no matter which button we click as at now, no matter which button we click, this thing, because we haven't give it any condition, definitely no matter which we have not give our wire signal or our wire, we have not give any of, we have not give, especially we have not give our wire condition. We have not give it any condition. We are just telling it directly. If anything click, anything signal sent from this our wire here, it should enter this our wire signal here and enter here and come into our document that is having this ID of lamp holder, and it should straightway enter the src attribute and enter the bulb on or bulb off that is there. So now definitely when we click any button here, this bulb that is here is going to send to this our lamp holder here. So firstly, I will leave this one as off. So whenever we click any button, it will be at off status. If definitely, as you can see now, we are still having off picture, and the same off picture is also here. You will see that you will not see any light yet. Let's save our document and click a button. Reload your document. When we reload our document, can you see when we are clicking? When we click on and off, nothing display yet. It's still displaying the picture. It's reflecting, it's acting, but you will not know. So now let's change the picture right here to on status picture. Now we change it to pic underscore bulb on dot give. Let's save our document. We are going to see that when we click it, it's going to, can you see, it's not doing something. Why is it not doing something? So that's where the issue comes from. We are saying document dot get element by what? By ID. Select anything that is having this kind of attribute. When the attributes enter there, it should send the signal there and it should change to on. So definitely one issue occurs here, which is this place. One issue occurs here. So firstly, let me remove this. and just don't, I will not remove it. Don't let us remove it. I want to know where the error comes from. So quickly, let us look at this error. Where have we made a mistake? Let's change this switch to something else first, because this switch things can cause issues sometimes. Let's say if our document and reload again. Can you see it's on? As you can see, let me save it again and reload. Maybe because I didn't reload that time. Let me pick it. Now it's working. Because I did not reload, that's why it doesn't work. As you can see, it works. What we did works perfect. It's because I did not reload my document. That's why. So you should keep following along. So I don't purposely do that. I want you to know this is the fact that is going on right now. I did it, but I forgot to reload my document. That's why it doesn't work for me that time. So when I click it now, as you can see, when I click any of these, it's going to send on signal. So that is what is going on. So I'm purposely doing testing now. So we have did testing and we have noticed that our wire signal along with our wire, they can communicate with the lamp holder, and also they can communicate with the bulb that we have. So that is very nice, and it's a dream come true. So now it now remains for us to re-strategize how we want them to work. We want to control the wire along with the signals. We want to control how they work. So again, what we now need is that we now need to separate this thing. This one here, our signal here, let's delete this and comma it like this and jump like this, because we want to use JavaScript syntax. One syntax we want to do. Firstly, before I did that, let me bring it back and come straight down here. What do we need? We need a function, but the function is going to be if status. If something happens, you should do something, but if something does not happen, you should not do, or else something happen. So that's what we want to use now. We will use if condition. So inside this conditional statement from the JavaScript, we are going to perform another function inside function. As you can see, this is a function already that is working for us perfectly. So we want to change this function and we'll use it along with this second function we want to define here. So this is how we are going to do. We are going to separate them one by one. I don't want this to get rough. Make sure that you are following along gently. Don't think I'm performing any miracles here. So firstly, let me comment this one out. So don't look at it at all as if we have did something. Let's save our document. So what I want to do right now is that I want to copy this wire signal here, because it's the one I want to control. We want to control how they behave. So let's now send it to this. Let's put it inside this our condition here. If we are not saying if wire signal, let's not say if wire signal is equal to, in our in our JavaScript is equal to, is equal to, but this one we are working on, it is equal to, we are going to use going to be is equal to double is equal to. We are going to say if wire signal is equal to is 0. Definitely when we are saying is equal to 0, definitely we are saying if wire signal that we click is equal to is 0. You understand? Double is equal to, don't let it confuse you, because if we use, let's say for instance we use 1 is equal to like this, it will not work. That's why I said we should use is equal to. I've already tested it. So when you use is equal to, it will work. Now say if wire signal, that is if the wire signal that we click, if the wire that we click here, if it's 1 or is 0, that is we are saying if it is 0 wire that we click, the button should be on off status, which is this. So we will now say if wire signal is equal to 0, we will now say this wire signal, we will now copy the wire signal again. We will now say that wire signal is equal to document again dot we will not say document here, sorry, if wire signal is equal to 0, right? we will just give it off status picture. We now say this wire signal is equal to 0. Then when we click wire and the wire signal is equal to 0, which is we will now say it is off. The picture should be off status. And if this wire signal is equal to on, is equal to on, else let me come here again, copy this whole thing again and come down here and place this here. We are saying that if this wire signal is equal to 0, that is when we click 0 here, the bulb should be off bulb picture. But if the wire signal, the click that we click here, which is the signal inside here, is equal to 1 or anything else or 2 or whatever, the picture should be on. So now let's change this picture to be to on status. So it's supposed to work, right? But it will not work yet. I will show you why. So now let's reload our document. Don't let us forget like the other time. Reload it. Now click it. Can you see nothing is working right now? So what we are going to do now is that this wire signal that we have defined here now let's now use it. We have defined this, we have defined it. Definitely we have sent this thing to this wire signal. We have then sent the second picture also to this wire signal. What we are now going to do is that we are now going to say we will come outside of this place. Now say document dot get element by ID. Don't forget, we always use this by ID. We want to send signal from this thing to our lamp holder. So now let's write our lamp holder here. Lamp holder. Let's save our document. When we save our document, we are saying that document, please select any our element here that is having ID, which is what? Lamp holder. Dot send. We want to send what? We want to send this. But what we are going to do is that we are going to say dot src is equal to, don't you forget, we have already selected what? Our, let me show you clearly. We have already selected our lamp holder. So after selecting our lamp holder, what do we want to do? We want to send the signal from our lamp holder to this place. We want to send the signal from our what? From our lamp holder. We want to send the signal to this our bulb picture. We want to change our bulb picture. That's why we are selecting this src here. So instead of writing it like this, just quickly write the dot so that you won't forget. That's why I'm doing this. Copy this so you can be able to understand what you are doing. I come back here and place it. So now when you now do that, just close your chapter here and save it. We are saying if we press signal 1 here, please send the signal to this place, wire signal, and let anything we select here, send the signal to our wire signal here, and I will now give it condition. We said if wire signal is equal to 0, picture right here. We are now using wire signal as our picture, as our bulb. Yes, I should call it bulb, right? Let me call it bulb instead of wire signal, right? Let me call it bulb. Understand? Let me call it bulb. Let me call it our bulb. Let me call this one also our bulb, so you can understand this very well. That's why I'm doing this in a simpler way. So if I call it bulb, you are not going to understand it clearly. So let me just leave it like that. So because we are bringing in bulb, we have not used the bulb yet. So if wire signal is equal to what? Is equal to red or what, or black, is equal to, if wire signal is equal to 1 or 0, you understand, the wire signal is coming inside here. So the signal is equal that is to say any button. If you click this one, the signal is going to come here. If you click this button right here, the signal is going to come here. No matter any, even let's say you define multiple, more than one. I don't think you are getting it, but more than one, like this. If you define more than one, the signal is going to display, and I'm going to let you confirm that for you later in our future tutorials. Or I can even do this if I later finish this one early. I will explain how it works for you. So now we are sending our signal from lamp holder. Don't you forget, this is where we are. We are saying document, please. We are using JavaScript to select all our HTML document. We are saying please select any element inside our HTML document that is having ID, which is this one is the one we are having that have ID. As you can see, when I highlight the ID cell, they show. And now when I say this ID specifically is the one we are talking about, which is lamp holder. As you can see, the lamp holder also selected. So when I select it, when I say anything from the lamp holder, now send the signal to Bob, to this SRC, to this our SRC that hold our picture here, which is this. As you can see, the picture here. When I say send this picture, when I say is equal to, let the picture be this. So any picture you now specify here is going to be the one that will display here. That is the function, that is the use of the function. So now instead of using the off that we are having here, firstly let's use the off here and save our document to confirm if what we have done so far is working. So let's get back to our document and reload it. It's going to be off status. It will never change to on yet. When we click it, can you see nothing is happening? Nothing is happening. Don't you forget, always reload your browser so you won't be confused whenever you did something. Now let's change this to on button, on picture, and now give it pick underscore bob on dot give. Let's save our document and come back here, reload it. When I reload it, when I click it, it should work. Can you see it is working? But this off status is not working right now, as you can notice, but this on is working. Now let's get back to our document. So we are saying that if the signal is equal to what? Is equal to 0, the button should be this. But if the signal is not 0, the on status should be this. So definitely we are going to do something again. We need to define our signal variable so that this button can work perfectly as we think it should work. So now let's clear all this place. Now let's define signal as a variable, wire signal as a variable. Now here, write variable, write wire signal, and close it like this, and save your document. And let us try it again. Let's reload our document. Now when I click on off, it's supposed to work, yet it's not working again. Now let's check again. What is the error? Why we are having errors? So why we are having errors, we have to know. So let us debug the error together. Now we are saying that lamp holder, please send signal to our wire, to our bulb here. As you can see, our bulb is now what? Is now on. So we are saying if the bulb is what? Definitely the error right here now is that instead of us using the picture directly like this, we will not use the picture again, because we have already assigned the picture to our wire signal. I don't think you remember when I did this. Let me remove it again so you can understand what I mean. You know that later I told you that you will need to define this wire signal as a variable so that you can be, because the wire signal is the one we are trying to control. That's why we define this if and else statement. We are saying if the wire signal, if they click one here, the one should change our bulb picture to off, to on. That is this on. But if the click is 0, that is, if wire signal is equal to 0, the picture should be off. But if it's anything else aside is 0, the picture should be on. That's why when we click 1 here, it's always on. But now, as you can see here, we said document get element by ID lamp holder. We are telling it to get lamp holder. It has already gotten the lamp holder. Now we are telling it to send signal to our source. It has already sending the signal to our source. And we are telling it to send this picture also to our source attribute, and it's already sending this picture to our source attribute. But instead of sending this picture, what we don't need to use again is this picture right here. We don't need to use it anymore. You will need to delete it. The reason why I said you will need to delete it is because we have already assigned our wire signal to what? To the pictures. We have already said it here. So that's why the code is not working for us. So definitely we need to carry this wire signal now and use it so that it can be able to work dynamically. That is the dynamic aspect of using JavaScript. That's where it's speaking. Now let me keep the wire signal here. Even let's firstly test it without turning it to a variable. Let's save it so that we will be able to know if it works or it doesn't work. Let's save it and reload our document. So I hope it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work. Let's on it. Can you see it's on? Let's off it. It works. Let's on it. It's on. Let's off it. It works. So let's get back to our document. Now what we will need to do is that our document is working perfect now and it's very fine. But to be on the safe side, you understand? To be on the safe side, so we need to, because this one now has turned to a variable, but in JavaScript there is something called global variable and there is something called local variable. This variable we are seeing right here now has turned to global variable because we don't assign any var to it. So quickly let us turn it to a variable. Let's keep it here and save it like this. Now it's now safe now, because if you don't do it in that manner, it's not good. It's not good at all. Quickly, so let's continue our discussion. Let's reload our document now. When you reload our document, let's on it and off it. It's still working perfectly, but we are on a safe side right now where we use what? Where we use wire signal. So that's what I want to show you guys. I hope you understand the point I'm trying to bring out here. When you are using global variable, it's not that safe. That's why you need to be very careful. Change the variable, assign it to a take the variable, assign it to a var statement here, and when you use it in that manner, it's going to work. And there is another way we can do it also. As you can see, when we click our on and our off, it's working perfectly with no any problem. And then we can style our button, we can do anything, we want to do with it again. That's how we use our JavaScript, HTML and CSS for what? For to control our bob. So that's what I want to show you guys. Please don't you forget, practice make perfect. If you don't practice it, you are not going to understand it very well. Because as I'm practicing this every time, that's why I can know how I can join all this for you guys, so you can be able to catch it in an easier way. Please make sure you practice. Everybody following me, I want you to please practice, I beg. So that's how you can also understand this very well. It won't be as if I'm blabbling. So let me explain this now in gentle details. Let's say from here we define our lamp holder along with our what? Along with our bulb. Inside here we define our switch. This one is for decorating our switch using what? Using CSS. We are able to move our buttons to the normal spot that we want using our CSS. CSS is for styling. So that's why we use this switch class here. And also we define two buttons. This button here is for click This onClick is from HTML attribute, and we use this wire here. This wire is what we use as a function. We define this function and we gave it a parameter. This one is having one parameter, this one is having two parameters. This one we call it on and we call this off. So now, as you can see here in the script here, this is the script that do the magic for us. This one is for function, and here is where we define the function. This is wire. As you can see, the wire is having this parameter, which is wire signal. So don't you forget, when I was discussing about wire signal right here, I said any button you click so far, even if it's not one, if it's zero, if it's going to work. Now let me confirm that for you. Now let's say now we turn this to 2, because this is our wire signal. It's taking random something, any button at all from wire. Once the variable is assigned to wire, it's going to work with it. Let's now say I turn this to 2. Now let's reload our document so you can see what I'm talking about. Can you see? It's still working perfect. That's what I want to show you. So definitely you should know that even if you assign another button right here, it's still going to do what? It's still going to work perfect. Let me assign one button right here. Let me reload it. Can you see this one? Let's call it on also. Yeah, you can call it on, or you can call it anything. You can call it signal on. Signal on. So we can use it for something else also, or to change the picture. Signal on. When I click it, it's going to on. Can you see? When I on, it's still going to on. When I on, it's going to off. When I on, it's going to on. When I off, it's going to off. When I press signal on also, it's going to on. So that's how we work. Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name. I wish to see you guys next time. But before I go, make sure that you practice. That's what I will tell you. Practice make perfect. Have a great day. Thank you so much. I hope I've satisfied your need. Bye bye. Thank you.